your hair, your nails, your brows, your lashes, your car, your tattoo. If you could tell me how much I spent for all of it combined, I'm gonna give you some head. Not just any head, the best head of your motherfucking life.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Another day, another story that hits deeper than it looks on the surface. Because behind every headline, every viral clip, and every angry comment, there's always something bigger. A system that's breaking, and people trying to survive inside it. So grab a seat, because this one's going to challenge how you see things, and maybe how you see yourself in the middle of it. Stick around till the end. I've got a question that'll say a lot about which side of this story you're really...
He's gonna let 42 million children starve? Wake your ass up. Wake your dumb ass up. Wake your goat mouth ass up. I'm gonna try to break this down as quick as I can for you weirdos. It's called a continued resolution. All a continued resolution is a continued budget, keeping the same budget intact that was there before. Democrats are holding the government hostage. So all the wasteful spending that they were finding in the government that Trump took away, they want to put that all back in this bill. They are not willing to sign to get every 42 million of you starving motherfuckers food because the Democrats do not want to sign the continued resolution. So before you go running around with mouth all wide open with no food in it, yelling that Trump took your food stamps, realize it's your own people. They took your food stamps. To all the people that actually need EBT and are struggling, go to your local food banks and go to churches. They will help. For all the able-bodied citizens that are taking advantage of the food stamps and EBT, get a job. Yes, I said it. I'll say it again. Get a job. Bye.
Okay, let's go. Dive down in.
A viral rant like this tells you exactly how divided the country's become. Not over money, but over who deserves help. He's shouting about 42 million Americans on food stamps, calling out Democrats, defending Trump, and throwing rage at anyone who relies on EBT. When someone starts a video yelling, "Get a job," it's not really about jobs. It's about frustration. People feel like the system's unfair, that they're working harder and getting less, while others get more for doing nothing. The truth is many on EBT do work. They just earn so little that full-time still isn't enough. So while one side screams about freeloaders, the other side is just trying to keep food on the table. Do you think food stamps should have stricter rules? Or higher wages should fix the need for them altogether?
Look, y'all. You see how y'all going crazy and stuff because y'all ain't getting y'all food stamps and stuff? Guess what? That's how I feel every day. I ain't never got no stamps how hard I work. Yeah, I get a good check. But soon as bill A, B, C, D, E, F, G do, I got H. Hella nothing.
Everybody is receiving partial of their stamps, not all. So just to let y'all know, when y'all receive it, you will not be getting all of your food stamps. And they not giving extra. They only giving partial of your food stamps. So just remember what's going to happen. It's crazy, and it doesn't make any sense of why they're only giving certain amount. But that's what they said. I don't know when it's going to take place. Keep y'all eyes on it, and I wish y'all the best. Please go to these pantry places and get help. It's people on here, social media, helping families. Please go to somebody and get help to get your kids some food and stuff like that. Don't feel ashamed. Because let me tell you something. Everybody is going to go through something in life. Nobody is out here rich. If you rich, bitch, you won't be on here fucking with everybody. Y'all need to leave them people alone. Because if they on here wanting their food stamps, let them have it. Talk to y'all later.
Okay, is it just me, or a lot of the videos from the people losing their food stamps just not encouraging sympathy? Like, I'm seeing people say, oh, I can't eat steak anymore, or I have to use the money that I would have used on the substances or my hair to finally buy food for myself. Or I'm seeing people say, oh, I can't sell my food stamps anymore, which, by the way, is so freaking illegal. Look, I was on food stamps growing up. I've been to food banks. I've had to do that whole sort of thing. I get it. And I genuinely do think that there's a lot of people who use this program, truly need it, and use it for good purposes. But unfortunately, the loudest people on TikTok are making it seem like they never needed food stamps, we're never using them for necessities, and we're living better than the people actually paying taxes for the food stamps. So no, I don't blame people for saying that we need reform. I don't blame people for disliking the fact that you can buy soda or that you can buy ice cream and Doritos. And before you come at me for, oh, you don't want poor people to have nice things, SNAP stands for Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. It's supplemental. It's not supposed to buy every single grocery you'll ever need. It's supposed to supplement what you're already buying. It's not supposed to pay for every single snack and sweet treat that you've ever wanted. Again, I genuinely do feel for people in a difficult place right now. They need a lot of help and there's a lot of work to be done. But if you're one of those people getting on TikTok and making videos about how you wish you could go back to abusing the system, I seriously have no sympathy whatsoever for you.
Here's the thing. Not every rant about food stamps comes from cruelty. Some of it comes from frustration at the loudest voices online, the ones bragging about lobster tails or flipping EBT for cash, while others quietly survive off the same program. Social media only shows the extremes. You see the flexers, not the families making $13 an hour and still can't afford groceries. Do you think SNAP needs stricter limits or better protection from stigma? I'm curious how you see it. Drop a comment and keep it respectful. But anyway, in the next video, we'll see that contradiction, where those who confuse help with laziness question human dignity under the guise of system criticism.
Food stamps, let's just say, or food assistance. I want people to have assistance who need assistance, especially those that fall back. It's a safety net, right?
Yep.
Safety. I've had so many people on this show now, and I know we get the worst of the worst. It is. I've had so many people on the show where they are specifically choosing to not go work more hours because then they'll be taking off benefits. And I'm wondering, even though I want to support people who fall on hard times, obviously, because they're human beings,
Yep.
have we set up our systems in a way, let's say the state of Michigan, where we're also just discouraging people from going out there and being contributors?
Yeah. Well, that is an obscene and I think rare example of where the system is not perfect, right?
Yeah.
That we want to incentivize work. We want people to be gainfully employed and not reliant on state funding. But we recognize that there are a lot of people who right now are struggling to just take care of their daily needs, their family's needs. So that's why this is important.
So I grew up on food stamps. I remember at 10 years old, Popol bringing a bag of quarters to Walmart just because that's how tight money was. Because of the government shutdown and everything that's happening with the SNAP benefits, unfortunately, there's millions of people that don't know where their next meal is coming from. You guys know I did not grow up with a lot, and I always said to myself, if I ever found myself blessed, my #1 goal would be to share those blessings with other people. So come with us to make some donations at a local food bank. We are currently outside of Walmart. This is how we're spending our day today. Grabbing a cart. Welcome to Walmart. So we have a list of recommendations from our local food shelter. First things first is the cereal section. We're gonna grab a couple boxes of cereal. Fun fact, Jacob actually loves cereal, so he's gonna pick out his favorite ones.
Frosted Mini Wheats, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and Frosted Flakes.
The next thing that they asked for was peanut butter, but specifically the plastic jars. We are gonna grab a tray of peanut butters and also a box of grape jelly. Let's do some macaroni and cheese. Pastas are really great because they last so long. Let's do some penne, some rigatoni. Of course, we have to do bow tie. Elbow, have to do spaghetti. A couple of these. They also requested pasta sauce, but specifically in the plastic again. Here we go. A whole box of pasta sauces. We're also gonna do some chicken noodle soup. I think we're gonna do the whole tray again. And this is chicken and corn chowder soup.
This stuff is so good.
Nice. Next, we're gonna do some canned vegetables. These are sweet peas, some sliced potatoes. Oh, these are heavy. And some sliced carrots. So the shelter asked for ramen noodles, but specifically not the ones in cups. I believe they want the ones in packs. The chicken flavor is my favorite. The next thing I personally want to get is rice for them. I think it might be over here. Perfect. We're gonna do a few boxes of rice. Nice. So a non-food item that they have is actually laundry pods. We are gonna grab a couple of these. Perfect. And something I personally want to donate are diapers and formula. Jacob and I do not know the difference between the formulas, so we're just getting a little bit of everything. Please let me know your recommendations. Okay, I think that is everything. Please let me know if we're missing anything. We're honestly just going by the list that the shelter gave us, but let me know if you guys think we're missing anything. And honestly, I'm just hoping this helps them any way that I can. Time to check everything out. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. I know it's a long one. Thank you so much. Thank you. We appreciate you. All right. I think that was a mission success. Let's go drop everything off. We have quite a few food items to donate. Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate what you guys are doing.
Well, thank you. We can't do it without you guys giving the stuff to give.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We appreciate you guys.
Right, here's the kind of story that hits you in the gut. He remembers counting coins at Walmart as a kid, and now he's back in the same store, loading up carts for others. It's full circle. Notice how he mentions plastic jars instead of glass, or boxed pasta instead of fragile stuff? That's someone who actually asked what food banks need, not just what looks good for social media. That's real awareness. What if each of us picked one thing off that list? Peanut butter, diapers, cereal, and donated it this week? Doesn't have to be big, just something that says, I remember what it feels like to need help. But anyway, in the next video, we'll see the shameless theater of those who put hunger on the bargaining table and turn human lives into political bargaining chips. Because this is no longer politics, it's flexing power by stepping on hungry people.
Trump is telling families to starve until he gets his way. Donald Trump says food stamps, the SNAP benefits that feed 42 million Americans, won't go out until Democrats reopen the government. That means no groceries for millions of Americans until they give him what he wants. And what he wants is a budget deal that would cut healthcare for millions of Americans, including reduced Medicaid funding and lower Affordable Care Act subsidies. The Democrats are refusing to go along and demanding protections for healthcare programs. On Tuesday, Trump posted on Truth Social that benefits will be given only when radical left Democrats open up the government and not before. Hours later, his press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, tried to walk it back, saying the USDA will pay the benefits after all. But that's not what Trump said. A federal court had already ordered the USDA to issue at least partial payments by draining its contingency fund. Money meant for wars or disasters. And thanks solely to the Republicans, this is a disaster. Now Trump's hinting that he might ignore that order. Leavitt says they're following the ruling. Trump says they're not. No one in the Trump regime seems to actually know who's in charge. House Speaker Mike Johnson praised the White House for helping struggling families. Withholding SNAP benefits from tens of millions of families because you want to cut the health care of millions of families doesn't exactly help struggling families. Republicans have also refused to pass a bill to fund SNAP separately. They'd rather use hunger as leverage. Don't let the Republicans gaslight you. This shutdown is their fault.
Did you hear what Congressman Clay Higgins just said? Well, he left a social media post that said all families that receive SNAP benefits, the average family receives $4,200 every single year. That's about $350 a month per family. Now, with this $350, families are able to feed their kids. But according to Congressman Clay Higgins, he said that if you've been receiving these SNAP benefits and you haven't saved up at least a month's worth of food, that you need to stop smoking powder. Now, this is how our congressman talks to the American people that put him into office. Also, with our elderly people, they normally receive about $92 a month. And how does he expect people to save up a month's worth of food, knowing the prices of food nowadays? How does he expect people to save up 1 month of food whenever it's hard, even with $350 to feed your children for that month a lot of time, especially with the increase in price as far as groceries go. But many single parents do this all the time. With the money that they're given, they're able to feed their children for that month. Now I'm going to show you the post that he put out 6 days ago, and he hasn't taken it down. So this is how he truly feels. This is definitely his heart speaking out. And while you take the time to read that, just remember this also. That's why it's important that we go out and we vote and put people in political places that truly care about the American people. Because when we have people like this that have no compassion for people, especially in positions of power, this is what we end up with. So that's why we should go out and vote whenever it comes time to vote for people.
A Louisiana congressman is facing backlash for mocking SNAP recipients, not for fraud or waste, but for struggling to afford food. Congressman Clay Higgins posted that if families on food stamps haven't saved up a month's worth of food, they need to stop smoking powder. The post has been up for nearly a week. $4,200 a year. That's the average family's entire food budget under SNAP. That's about $350 a month. And Clay Higgins thinks that's enough to stockpile groceries in today's economy? That tells you he's never done real grocery shopping for a family. Imagine being 70 years old, living alone, and getting $92 a month to eat. And your congressman tells you to save up a month of food. You can't even save up a week of groceries with that. What do you think? Should elected officials lose their seat when they publicly mock citizens who rely on government programs? Drop your thoughts below. This one deserves a real conversation.
Let me ask you a question about the SNAP benefits, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why you asking her? Because she understands.
Okay.
Just like we do. Tell people what that means for people to have their SNAP benefits taken away, man, especially around the goddamn holiday season.
You know, I was just talking to my assistant today. I said, you know, I see people in the grocery store celebrating that people don't have SNAP. And, you know, nobody asks to be born into a family of poverty. Mm-hmm. Nobody asks to be born into a family of needs. When you out there picking that, you can't fault the kids for having a parents that need a program. Mm-hmm. So when you out here celebrating somebody not eating, that child is who you hurting. Mm-hmm. That child is who gonna go to school hungry like I did. I grew up on food stamps. There was so many times we ran out of food and I could not wait till Monday morning so I can get that breakfast at school or my mama food stamp to kick in on the 3rd. Nobody's thinking about the kids in this. So what? You might think that the mama selling the food stamp or the mama is a hood rat. But one thing I do know about being a hood rat mama, no matter how much you sell them food stamps, you gonna put a little bit back for grocery. Mm-hmm. And that little grocery is gonna feed that child for a certain amount of days. So while you out here celebrating, you hurting a kid that don't have shit to do with the family that they was born into. It's not their fault. And you want to take that from them?
That's right.
Which would give me flashback, and it hurts my feelings. It actually made me, I'm looking for a food bank. I found one in my community to give food to, because nobody ever think about that child. Yeah. I mean, I was a child with raggedy clothes. I was a child who had to get the Thanksgiving basket from school. I was a child that went to school raggedy, didn't have nothing. Mm-hmm. But you making it their fault. It's not their fault. You know, everybody can't be born to you. That's right. Everybody can't be born to me. But, you know, I had it rough. And those are the people that you hurt. And that's when I'm talking, when I'm on my social media talking shit, be like, oh, you need to stay out of politics. I said, why the hell do I need to stay out of politics when I pay a shit ton of taxes? Mm-hmm. And I was once those people that you're talking about.
That's right.
I moved 10 years from being on Section 8 and food stamps. So I would never forget when I had custody of my sister kids and I was working at Walmart and I had to get food stamps and how that helped out. That $1,200 I got for raising 8 kids still was not enough, but I had to make it do what they do. So when you're talking about SNAP out here, fuck the mama, forget the daddy, think about that child and that household that needed more than anything, that you out here celebrate that they're not gonna be able to eat because you think their parents are getting their hair done or you think their parents are not doing what they're supposed to do. Right. Nobody ever look behind that parent and see those hungry kids. So what is 6 kids on welfare? I don't know if y'all noticed this morning, Walmart telling Congress turn SNAP back on because they get a tax break. And they revenue with $8 billion a month, a year, or some shit that they get from people using SNAP in Walmart. So it's not just affecting us; it's affecting them too. That's right. Because that was free money they was getting.
I also hope that the Democrats don't cave.
I do hope that.
They need
Jazz
to.
McCarthy,
I don't think that. Have you seen those healthcare prices?
But they're going up anyway. So they're going up anyway.
But what's going to happen
because
is,
of the big beautiful bill, they're going up anyway.
But I feel like
But if they don't cave, is it still gonna go up?
Yes, the healthcare is going to go up anyway because the big beautiful bill didn't include the extension of the tax credits to keep the cost down. So it's going
that's what
up
they
anyway.
trying to get. That's what they trying to get, the extension. Aren't they fighting for them to put the extension in the big beautiful?
The premiums hold for a year. Like it goes up and it's going to hold for a year up until the election.
This is
if
crazy.
I'm saying that right.
And people,
I just feel like
you.
that man is gonna make everything fall on itself.
Yes, the premiums are set for a year at this point. So it's like right now, what are Democrats holding on for? Because next year is the 2026 election.
But I feel like if it's this, then it's going to be something else. It's going to be something else. It's going to be something else. He's always going to find a way to manipulate so that everybody gives up whatever it is that makes. But
there's so many people that's not getting.
But it is a choice. I saw Hakeem Jeffries on with Jake Tapper the other day. Jake Tapper asked him a simple question. He said, "You're acknowledging that it's a choice between healthcare and people not being able to take care of their immediate needs right now because of the government shutdown."
Yeah.
So it is a choice.
But that's exactly what he wanted the choice to be, so that then we would get rid of healthcare, and then it's going to be something else. Then it's going to be something else. Then it's going to be something else. So that we could always have to make the choice. Got to make the choice. That's how dictators work.
But this is all to kill the poor too. I mean, this is just to kill the poor. You know, make it. I guess they just want to wipe it white. And I keep asking. I even ask my white friends. I said, "Can you tell your white relative if this country were all white? Well, what y'all gonna eat? Stadium hot dogs? White people ain't got no food.
That's the only food culture they got.
They ain't got no food."
They break down what losing SNAP benefits during the holidays really means, not just for adults, but for hungry children. What starts as a debate about politics turns into something deeper, a reminder of humanity, dignity, and what's truly at stake when food aid stops. She says she couldn't wait for Monday school breakfast. That's not a political line, that's hunger trauma. That's how poverty stays with you for life. She flips the question perfectly. Stop thinking about the parents for a second. Think about the 6-year-old sitting in the dark with an empty fridge. That's who you're really punishing when you celebrate SNAP cuts. Walmart profits from SNAP. It's not just about compassion, it's about how deep this program runs in the economy. If policy after policy makes it harder for working families to eat, stay healthy, or live with dignity, what else are they supposed to think? If you've ever been that kid waiting for school lunch, or that parent praying your card goes through, drop a broken heart emoji below. It's not about politics anymore, it's about people.